She sounds like one of those female. Okay, you do probably know those alpha TikTok creators who are like, men have to earn the money, men have to wake up at 4 a.m. and do 10,000 push-ups and whatever. I can't even come up with all of this nonsense. And maybe she's like the female equivalent of that. Like, there are people exist like this. There are also people who are like, yeah, a woman has to be this, a woman has to be that. I like, what is your business? If I want to wear 2 different socks on this day, I will do. Hi, welcome back to the castle. I'm sorry it took me a bit. The life was happening, but Shu dropped in a video, so we will use that to go back to Content Factory. Enjoy. Let's see what the male loser epidemic looks like. Oh boy, I'm so scared. Okay, there we have Shu. Hello, Shu. Let's go.
Hello again, friends.
Hello.
Sorry I've been gone for quite a bit. Hopefully nothing too crazy happened. I feel like every time I take a break, like a war breaks out or something, but...
Not Iron Mouse spoiling what happened in Vishojo, so another stuff coming up, but yeah.
Thankfully that did not happen. But at least we found out the real Epstein file.
Epstein client list doesn't exist. Oh, I don't even want to know.
Friends we made along the
I don't
way.
even want to know
Welcome
that.
back to the Shoe on Head channel. If it is your first time here, run. I am
No,
Shoe on
don't
Head,
run.
and
Sit.
on this channel I like to
Sit.
cover cultural issues, mostly surrounding men's issues. It's
Mhm.
what I've been doing for over a decade, and frankly, I'm exhausted. Many of you have been along for the ride, and you have seen me go from a chipper, lively 24-year-old making fun of BuzzFeed and Tumblr feminists to a bitter, calloused 34-year-old talking about very real and growing men's issues. One of the main men's issues I have been covering in great detail lately has been the male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, but turns out I was wrong. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic.
What is that now? Okay, let me guess. Before she says anything about it, let me guess. Maybe it is like, oh yeah, no, like the ones that are lonely are not real men. Maybe tinkering a little bit into the soy boy kind of stigma, or if someone like a guy likes to put nail polish on their fingers to feel better about their day, that is like also not manly, and that's why they are a male loser. I don't know. This is my guess. Like, it is in this kind of direction that according to some people someone is not a man and that's why they're a male loser, and I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe next time we need a bingo card or something like that. Can we make a Shoe on Head bingo card together? That would be really cool.
It's not a male loneliness epidemic. No, it's a male mediocrity epidemic. It's a male loser epidemic.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this point.
And now enlighten me what that is, Mrs. on TikTok.
Now, I don't always talk about men's issues. No, sometimes I talk about politics, and sometimes I mix the two together. Now, I know a lot of you don't like politics. You don't care about politics. But politics cares about you, and it will enter your life no matter how hard you try to avoid.
Yeah, you can't run away with it. You have to deal with it at some point, and this is difficult. Let's see what it is.
It. But thankfully, I have the perfect app to help you navigate this difficult, confusing political landscape. So let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Ground News, before we get into this video, shall we?
You watch
Ground
it.
News is a website and an app that gives readers a
What
fun
a cute
and transparent way to read
outfit!
the news from all across
Where did
the
you get
political spectrum,
that?
from left, right,
Cute.
and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership, and headlines that helps you understand the full story and make sure you're getting both sides.
That seems
One of my favorite
helpful.
features from Ground News has to be the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by only one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other. For example, here is a story about how the CIA uncovered a Russiagate fraud, and right away we can see how it has been covered by 41 sources, and out of those 41 sources, 93% of them lean right, with only 2 left-wing outlets reporting the story. Ground News also makes it really easy to compare headlines to see just how political bias can affect the framing of a story. For example, this story about Zoran Mamdani winning the Democratic primary in New York. This left-leaning outlet says Zoran Mamdani's win just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right-wing outlet says, meet Zoran Mamdani, the man who will ruin New York.
Oh my
As you can
god,
see,
okay.
very different vibes.
Yeah.
I've been using Ground News since 2021 because I think it is so informative, so fun, and it helps me see how different stories are framed so differently. And
I think this is like super important. Like, of course, hopefully they do with honest intentions, as always, right? Because framing political view, as you can see, does a lot of, like, depending on what you write as a headline or as a text or the first few sentences, for the people that even read the first few sentences and not the headline, that do be sometimes devastating, and something like that seems to make a lot of sense. So yeah,
I love it. I highly recommend it. It's one of the few apps that I wake up and just immediately check. But don't just take my word for it. Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. High praise.
Sounds
Best
very
of all,
good.
I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all of their amazing features. This comes out to only like $5 a month, which is like the price of a coffee. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code right there on screen.
We support
or
you.
the link in the video description down there.
Make sure to not strain your
Ground
finances,
News
though.
Today. I feel like what they're doing is really important, especially right now, and it helps us approach the news in a more fair and balanced way. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad.
We're still here.
Right.
Yeah, we're
Now,
still here.
let's get back to the video.
Very lovely dressed. Very lovely
With all these
dressed.
issues
I want to know
men are
where to get
facing,
that from.
They seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since the left and Democrats have essentially just become the young men eat and die movement. Months ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men, and I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting for Trump. And I was correct. Well, now the Democrats have unveiled their final solution to the right-wing male loser epidemic. Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class.
Okay.
Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves on Election Day in hopes of winning back the working class. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts, with donors and strategists holing up in luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince workers.
I love how, see, I don't care what if it's Democrat. People, just put it to people, because I just... People spend 20 million on their efforts in a luxury hotel. Dude, if you want to brainstorm, you can just go to a freaking garage and do that. Maybe someone brings a grill, then you pay, let's say 100, 200, or with the economy, maybe $400 on some grill goods, and then you just stand there and enjoy your grill and brainstorm. You do not need 20 million. Jesus Christ.
Working class men to return to the party. Ah yes, nothing more relatable to working class men than luxury hotel rooms. Great job, guys. The plan? Codename Sam.
Sam.
Or Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan. Promises to use the funds to study the syntax.
Promises to use the funds. Yeah, that went very well already in the beginning.
Language and content that gains attention and virality in these spaces. The effort also recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things. The Democratic Party is treating young men like exotic animals they're studying.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see here, is the young man in his natural...
I'm so sorry. Aspen, you poor thing. I don't agree with you all the time, but you should not be presented as a zoo animal. Jesus.
habitat in a dark, messy cave surrounded by Taco Bell wrappers and empty
water.
Mountain Dew bottles.
Ew.
Here is another young man, as you can see, also dwelling in a
Oh,
dark
no.
cave. This one has dyed his hair blue to scare off potential predators. Unfortunately, it also scares off potential mates. But moving on, here is another
Oh no,
young men,
VTubers.
we think we're not quite
Sure,
sure about this
yeah.
one. We're still studying. Listen, Democrats.
I need a moment. Jesus. We're not some freaking creatures. Ah.
Instead of spending $20 million to do that stupid, maybe you should, I don't know,
Actually,
listen
yeah.
to men. I listen to men for free all the time. All I have to do is read my comments.
Like, actually do some work instead of sitting in a luxury hotel room drinking water that costs like $20 per glass or something like that.
Let's see here. Shoe on head is a perfect example of why we need to repeal the 19th. Greetings from Albania. I hate women so much it's unreal. Oh, shoo, mommy, milkies, mommy. One time I got my penis stuck in a soda bottle. Oh.
I hope you got it out safely. Why and how?
Okay, on second thought, maybe my comment section is not the best source.
Nah.
Trump scored big with young male voters last election.
What?
Democrats are spending $20 million to learn how to speak their language. I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's
But the stats don't bear that out now.
Interesting.
Look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are
What? Okay. I will just watch for now. I'm a bit confused.
a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Oh no. The very night I was sitting on my couch writing the script to my video about how the Democrats are spending $20 million to relate to young men, this came on my TV on Fox News.
No.
A Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham segment about stay-at-home sons, men who still live at home. Literally minutes after this aired, it went absolutely viral on Twitter for not good reasons. So we are going to unpack this.
What about all the females that stay at home with her parents? Like, why do we bash men specifically? I don't understand. You do not know the life circumstances why someone's still living with their parents. Maybe they take care of the parents. Maybe they have a disability. Maybe they're studying and want to save the money and the parents are supporting them. I don't get it.
Piece by piece. Because even though everyone was mocking it and making fun of it, as far as I saw, nobody was really dissecting it and breaking down exactly why she was so egregiously wrong. So come join me in debunking the male loser epidemic.
Thank you, Shu, that you debunked that.
Equipped
Or
to
like
talk about men's
dissect
issues
that.
than two stupid blonde bimbos. Hold on one
Okay. Yeah, give me a second.
3 stupid blonde bimbos.
Should we make it 4? No, it takes too much time to get my hair blonde again. The original model had blonde hair, but it takes too much time to reverse it. We just continue.
Sorry. I felt left out. All right, let's go. Wait. I need my gamer fuel.
Wait, no, I will do that. Okay, hold on. There will be a little cut. Hold on. I can't let that sit like that. Okay, I'm now ready. And do I look fabulous? Look at the drip. I couldn't resist. Okay, now we can watch a shoe on head video. Now we're prepared. Okay, let's go. Let's go. I'm so sorry it took a moment.
See? I do drink it. That one's for you, Tectone.
It's a major problem. And you know, Speaker
I
Johnson
also
has
recently
been
had
talking
it.
about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness.
Okay. She's not only bashing men to stay at home for whatever reason, right? We'd never know the reason, so this is not our business. She also bashing Gen Z to fix something or to do something or to be the cause of something. Who gives
as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. But Laura, I gotta tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. You know, that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
So first of all, this stay-at-home son thing is not a real thing. It was a random throwaway, self-deprecating joke some contestant on Jeopardy said. One f***ing guy. Because I guess there's nothing else important going on that they could cover on the news. They literally made this into a fake phenomena so they can on young men. Meanwhile...
And the thing is, like, okay, listen. So on social media, right? Even though a majority is saying something, like, let's say just 5 people say something critical, they say it over and over and over again, so the algorithm somewhen picks it up, and then it's so critical that people are reacting to it, commented, retweeted, or whatever, make videos about it to put light onto it. But that lights at the same time put so much media eyes on the topic or on an opinion and stuff like that, and then it becomes viral, and then it somehow also becomes a thing. So if you I'm so sorry, I hit I was just gesturing so much. So if you don't want something to see, just block it, get it out of your mind, protect your brain from stupid content, be critical of what you consume, and if you are like, no, I don't like that, just block it, ignore it, don't talk about it. This is how you shut down over time influencers or people that you do not like. Of course, it is important. It is important to ignore it. At the same time, also important to put light on it in some way with a critical view that people are like, oh, this is really bad, I should not support that, and then just completely shut it down. They're like those two ways, kinda, to put some pressure onto people, like either ignore them completely or do like a very, very detailed essay, for example, like Shu or other people who do that, and then just show the world that this is wrong, and then the world will respond with, yeah, we ignore you, hopefully.
While Democrats are spending millions of dollars trying to win back young men. Oh no, the young men are leaving us in droves. How do we get them back?
How many wigs do you
I
have?
got this. Hey, you fat, lazy, Cheeto dust-covered slobs. F you. Nice.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that will help them.
I
Absolutely.
Love you. I love you too.
Huh? Okay. Don't do the
Is the amount of
scissors!
young men living
Girl.
at home with their parents increasing? Yes. Is it because they're lazy bums and just want to order DoorDash all day? No. And also, they're not paying for DoorDash, Tommy. They're financing it. Come on. Get with the time.
That will be another problem. Ooh, the Klarna, the pay buy now, pay later thing. Please do, for the love of God, whatever you believe in, do not do that. Please. Please do not do that. It is okay if you can't afford something. It is okay to save up money to afford something. But please try not to do that as much as you can. It is so bad.
Times.
There are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air.
Have either of you tried applying for a job as a young man recently? Or tried buying a house on the salary of one of these young men? Have you experienced the dating market, been on the dating sites as a young man?
Absolutely horrifying.
No? Interesting, okay. Just wondering. Listen,
And I'm not
I know
even a
the
man,
average
and
age
it's
of a
all
prostitute
horrifying.
is like 70 nowadays, and you need to pander to them. But Tommy, you are like 2 years younger than me. You know this shit isn't true. Why are you talking like this? Why are you talking like a f***ing boomer? I'm sorry.
Clicks. That's as simple as that. Clicks. Even though, like, bad marketing is still marketing. That's yeah. It's a thing.
Sorry, I have no other word for this, but I hate this like generational pick me. I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not like those other young people. Not all young people can afford a nice nose job and lip filler and get a cushy job on Fox News based entirely on merit, I'm sure. The main problem with this brain-dead boomer-ass take is not only is it cringe, but it's completely divorced from reality.
Yeah.
This slop is specifically designed for people who paid like $5 for a f***ing house. And listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers. They are lovely people. A lot of you guys are boomers. But when the baby boomer generation sends its people, it is not sending their best. They're not
No.
sending you. They're
Like, I don't know. I think every generation, for some reason, bashing the next generation or the generation after. So, like the grandkids, for example, Gen Alpha right now. And I kind of don't get it because I'm very sure, like, okay, listen, this is maybe generalizing, and I'm usually against it. And I would just use the data that I have on TikTok, right? I know, critical. But okay, let's just see. There is and was many times a trend where, for example, millennials talked publicly about trauma they experienced growing up because they were not allowed to do anything. They had to do this. They had to be that. They had to fit into a role that were not ready to be there, or like a role that is just not achievable because of the generational differences. And so millennials were talking about that. So, and then like millennials and baby boomers are so intertwined. And I don't understand why millennials do not break. I mean, many do. Okay, listen, many do. Okay, but the ones that have the biggest attention on social media, this is like what I said earlier with the what you make go viral or not. The ones with the loudest voices complain basically about how they grew up. And then on the other hand, many of the generation become like baby boomers and like just being like this woman that we saw earlier, not she was perfect, who are bashing generations again. So they're keeping the cycle instead of using some critical thinking and like, hey, I did not like how I was growing up because people put me into a role I was not ready or I do not want to do. So why are they doing the same thing to the next generation? Why there's no thinking of, hey, it happened to me. I should do my best to not let that repeat that for the next person, right? Why is it not like this? And that is something I really do not understand. I'm sorry, my cat is screaming. That is something I really do not understand. Why people keep cycles even though they themselves had bad experiences with them, or like their peers had bad experiences with them, and they keep the cycle and just push it onto the next generation to traumatize them as well. Can't we just like, hey, I didn't like to be pushed into a role that I was not enjoying. My kids or whatever, or my friends or my significant other, my neighbors, they should not go through the same thing. And so I will support XY playing the piano instead of going to football or something like that. Whatever it is, right? And just not keeping the bad cycle. And I do not get why it's still happening. So let's hold our hands and break the cycle, hopefully, over a course of time, not right now. It's not a immediate kind of thing. We have to adapt slowly, but with the best intentions, let's start breaking bad cycles to improve a little bit around our world. We do not have to change the world, just the people that we have around us, okay? And this will go to good places.
sending people who have lots of problems. They're bringing the housing crisis. They're bringing wage stagnation.
Yeah.
They're falling for AI-generated photos on Facebook.
We have
But
so much
some, I
shit going
assume,
on.
are good
And the best thing we do is bashing each other.
people. But my God,
Why?
I truly believe they do not understand how good they had it. They could support a family on a single income. A single income from a job that didn't require a college degree. Their leaders didn't prostitute away their economic future for some cheap plastic shit from China. They inherited the greatest economy known to man, and they pretend it's a paradise that they earned. I just don't understand, like, why don't boomers and spiritual boomers like Tommy Lauren see people struggling and go, wow, I wish I could fix this. They should have it better than I had it. And you wonder why so many millennials and zoomers don't want kids. I want to make the world a better place for my children. I want to make the world a better place for my children. Ugh. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you spoiled brat. Children.
Cat.
Not happening.
Cat.
Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men.
Young men are becoming lazy because they're
I'm not sure if she's even knowing what she's saying. I don't want to say that she's dumb. I don't want to say that. But I'm not quite sure if she actually knows what she's saying, or if it's actually. I would even think maybe it's not even her own opinion. I don't know the person, right? So, and I also don't know in what kind of circles she's running around. So, I'm not sure, first of all, if she knows what she's thinking without making her being a dumbass. Maybe you're just saying something and you just don't have a grasp of what you're talking about. That is bad, but okay. Happens to all of us. Or she looks so serious, like look into her face. And I know that they have like those pointers where they read out the stuff.
America, but it's the
She looks so serious and angry. Maybe she has to play a role. Who knows? Who knows? Not bad repetition for her.
feminization
Anyway.
of men.
Young men are becoming lazy because they're becoming feminized. So they're becoming lazy because they act more like women? What did she mean by this, chat? I know there's like a decrease in
She said
testosterone
chat
or
again?
something happening, but men are moving
Show streamer
right-wing
Inc.
all over the world. Does that correlate with the feminization? Or, I mean, there are suspiciously a lot of far-right femboys, so
Oi, oi, oi.
maybe. But here's
Oy,
the
oy,
thing,
oy.
Tammy. There is absolutely no evidence that young women want to start families more than young men. None. In fact, all the data says the exact f***ing opposite. According to Pew Research, 64% of women younger than 50 say they just don't want to have children. No reason, they just don't want them. Versus 50% of men who say the same. Another study by Archbridge Institute shows the same. 63% of women without children said they have no desire to have a child, while only 50% of men said the same. For men, the most commonly cited factor was personal finance. But among women, the strongest reason not to have a child was their desire to maintain their personal independence.
And that is okay, by the way. Like both factors, like the personal finance, that is a valid reason. Personal independence, because with a child, you do give up a lot. Like I have friends who have kids, like small ones right now. I also have friends who have bigger kids. You give up a lot, and it's very, very difficult to balance it out, to stay yourself basically, but also be a mom. Very, very difficult to do. And also like all of the societal like the society puts some kind of role into you again, right? That you have to be a great mom, that you still have to go work full time, like all the lists that you have to be as a female. And then a stay-at-home husband. Oh my god, a soy boy. Like who gives, like just the, as long as they take care of the kids, as long as everybody is happy, as long as they have a roof, food, and whatever, who freaking gives a damn crap about it? I don't understand. It is totally fine to have your opinion. It is totally fine to say, no, I don't want to have kids, because it's not your business to know why I don't want kids, right? It's just not our business if a decision of someone is like made. So why this girl on the news channel is even talking like that? I don't understand.
Basically, they don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas.
It's
They've been
okay.
ass blasted with propaganda their whole lives, telling them their lives will be ruined, their bodies will be ruined, they'll never have fun again, they'll be miserable forever if they have children. And as someone who has had a children, best decision I've ever made. 10/10, highly recommend, would do it again. But yes, this idea that men are the ones primarily responsible for the
absolutely
low
not.
birth rates is laughable. We're laughing over here. But honestly, it's not really women or men's fault. There are a lot of factors that play into this. But Tommy, I really gotta ask, is it men or is it you?
This is gonna be the summer of cancer.
Oh no, additional footage. I'm scared. Okay, now we get to know the person a little bit more, and I'm already scared.
Wrestling boys. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues,
Yeah. And if you ask men, all of them had issues with women. It goes both ways. Every time. Like, I asked my community on stream about, like, what kind of experiences they had. And man, I started crying because of some of the answers, okay? Like, it goes both ways. We all have bad experiences.
then I have to think, it might not be us. It might be you. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville,
Okay. This is putting full responsibility out of yourself. Okay, interesting.
Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. They, quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
My friends are successful. Men don't give a shit about that. They'd marry a Walmart cashier if she was nice to them.
I think men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage, are usually not ready to be husbands and fathers.
She sounds like one of those female. Okay, you do probably know those alpha TikTok creators who are like, men have to earn the money, men have to wake up at 4 a.m. and do 10,000 push-ups and whatever. I can't even come up with all of this nonsense. And maybe she's like the female equivalent of that. Like, there are people exist like this. There are also people who are like, yeah, a woman has to be this, a woman has to be that. I like, what is your business? If I want to wear 2 different socks on this day, I will do. If you want to make a tweet post out of it, you're very welcome, but it's not your business what I'm wearing, for example. Just a very silly example, I know, but you get the point. Like, it's none of anyone's business what I'm doing, as long as I'm not hurting anybody or like being disrespectful to anybody. So who gives a damn crap?
That's a cultural issue. So, look,
No, I would actually, back to your point, I think it's a biological thing.
So let me get this
Okay. Do we get an explanation?
straight. Men are all trash and won't commit and won't leave mommy's basement, and they're destroying the birth rates. But also, young men are biologically incapable of commitment and being parents. What? But wait, there's more. She also believes women don't have to bring anything to the table.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector.
Okay, there we go. She is one of those female alpha shit talkers. I'm sorry.
And a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money. But I don't
And they're like they're all nodding. What is wrong with you?
think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector and a provider. If you think you need to get something out of it, I quite frankly don't consider you a real man. Never.
I hope they did not agree to that, what she said. Like those people on the screen.
Never before in history have women demanded so much and offered so little. So before we get deeper into this retarded, manufactured, stay-at-home son narrative, let's check the Facebook comments of this Fox News video, because I am really interested to see what, like, the typical Fox News viewer thinks about this.
Sure, why are you torturing us now? Why do we have to go on fucking Facebook? Okay, buckle up, everybody. Buckle up, it's Facebook time, and I don't want it.
If the women are anything like these two, I can hardly blame the men for staying home and not wanting to date them.
The women are anything like these two.
Blame. These two women have a combined age of 93 and they have 0 children between both of them. You both have repugnant personality types, so listening to this was like male birth control to me. My goodness! Boomers are ruthless! Bunch of sissies. I served 6 years, 2 years in Southeast Asia after Vietnam was over. When I was 18, rent was $450 and I could afford to get my own place. She's so spot on. Nothing screams I'm a loser run from me than a guy living at home in his parents' house with his 12-year-old boy's bedroom decor at age of 30. Thank God we raised our sons to be men, who grew up, lived on their own, found their soulmate, got married, bought a beautiful home, and started.
Like I said, we do not know the circumstances why someone is staying at their parents' place. And it's also not our business, and it's not our right to judge on it like that. Like, just leave them be. Okay?
Family. I was out the door at 18, worked on the assembly line at Dodge and in the Air Force at 19, never went back home. I can't relate to this.
See, and then we have people who are like, yeah, I moved out. I did all the things. Like, what are you talking about? Because everyone's experience is so different, and that's why we are not allowed to give a damn crap about what anybody's doing, as long as it's respectful and nobody's hurt, right? We do not know, but we talk like we know.
Yes, we know you people can't relate. We know. But the world has changed. Why can't you people get this through your heads? I will never let my sons stay home. I'm trying to push them out of the nest.
What a poor kid. Not feeling love maybe at this point?
Okay, I really gotta ask. Is this an Anglo thing? Immediately
What is that now? Oh gosh, what's
kicking your
this?
kid out when they turn 18 years old? My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this. And honestly, why the f would a man leave home, leave his mother's cooking for a woman who probably can't cook? Not me though. Personally, I can cook amazing homemade
Same.
meals. I'll have you know I am a great trad wife.
Tino Nuggies! Yeah! In the criminal, not the microwave. Criminal. No. Shoo, please, at least the oven. Criminal. The good old
Apple teeth. Now, unfortunately, Tommy Lauren wasn't the only one
Lovely.
pushing this stupid lazy young men go get a job bullshit. Mike Johnson did it referencing 29-year-old men playing video games all day. Steve Scalise did it with 35-year-old men playing video games all day. And just the other night, I saw this on my TV. Again.
A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men, stay-at-home son.
I hate headlines. I hate it.
It's a phrase that's taken off since 27-year-old Brendan Leo won $59,000 on Jeopardy. And he has a master's degree in political science, but he's unemployed. Grow up, get a job, get a wife, build a family.
Just get a wife, bro. Just get a job, bro.
Get a job? Yeah. Just get a job? Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off at the job?
They're so out of touch somehow. Like, not the clip or anything, but like, if you just tell someone you get a job, like, you do not know. Maybe they have some kind of anxiety that has to be addressed. Maybe they had bad experiences with jobs. For example, me, I had bad experiences with jobs. That's why I want to be self-employed over time now, working towards it. Maybe they are in a job and are depressed and want to leave, but they can't. Like I said, we don't know, but we're portraying.
Jobland! We're jobs grow on jobbies!
The term welfare queen must have fell out of fashion with Republicans, because it seems even they know the approved safe demographic to go after now. Because it's very obvious what demographic they are talking about when they say young men in their basements playing video games. This just get a job lazy attitude is not surprising, but it's especially funny coming from Fox News of all places. Fox News that spends so much time yapping about immigrants taking American jobs.
Ah!
News will talk for years about how Americans are
Well.
being screwed out of the workforce. But when this issue manifests itself in Gen Z, suddenly it's a moral failure. The fact is, a lot of American jobs held by men are being lost to automation, offshoring, and yes, cheap foreign labor. Companies and billionaires would rather have cheap labor that they can essentially abuse, not pay fair wages to, just good little work.
Which is also very, very shitty. Like, everybody should be paid the normal amount, but companies do not work like that, sadly.
Drones who won't unionize rather than hire American workers for a living wage. The cheaper the labor they hire,
Who got the
more money
education
they
and
make.
everything
I remember
too.
when Bernie Sanders called open borders a Koch brothers
Maybe.
conspiracy.
Open borders?
Foreign aid.
No,
Open
that's
borders.
a Koch brothers proposal, which says essentially there is no United States.
But
anybody
it
can,
would make a
excuse
lot
me,
of the global poor richer, wouldn't it?
and it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Where'd that guy go?
Wait, what? Can he talk normally?
Open borders a Koch brothers conspiracy.
Open borders?
Foreign aid.
No,
Open
that's
borders.
a Koch.
Open waters? Is he referring to... open borders! Jesus Christ. Open your mouth when you talk, my man.
Koch brothers proposal, which says essentially there is no United States.
But
Then anybody can,
it would make a
excuse
lot
me,
of the global poor richer, wouldn't it?
and it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Okay.
Where'd that guy go? A lot of these jobs being taken are jobs traditionally held by men, like construction and factory jobs, manual labor work. But it's not just manual labor jobs, it's also the tech industry and
everything,
business industry,
yeah.
which are careers also mainly held by men. There are many, many examples of this, such as Microsoft recently cutting thousands of American workers while requesting 14,000 more H-1B workers this year. Some of those job positions include data scientists, which are 70% men, software developers, which are 80% men, and electronic engineers, which are 90% men, and many more like that. Another example of this was Tesla, where roughly 15,000 American employees were fired in April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders. On Twitter, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy tried to chalk this up to these immigrants just simply being the best and the brightest. Yeah, okay. You're paying them less.
Yeah, you're paying them less, and you can not do whatever you want, but somewhat, to a degree.
For longer hours and more work,
Yeah.
and they're willing to deal with it in order to stay in the country. It's coercive, exploitative, and, dare I say, not very America first. When
No.
conservatives confronted Elon Musk for this last year, he told somebody, and I quote, "Take a big step back and yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend." So when it comes to replacing American workers in manual labor with cheap foreign labor, it's deport, deport, deport. But when it comes to replacing his American workers with cheap foreign labor, it's yourself in the face. Interesting. There's also affirmative
Very... I don't know the English word for it. The morals are all over the place. Let's just say that.
action and DEI, which are other things Fox News always pisses and shits about. But suddenly, when the conversation is about Gen Z men, the demographic of people who are victims of these things, suddenly these things just like don't exist anymore. Then it's, oh yeah,
They're off the table for some reason, because now we will focus on that topic and bash those people to make everybody sad again, right?
men are all just lazy. They just want to be in their parents' basement ordering DoorDash and playing video games. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs.
So you okay? Do you need therapy? It's not a shame, you know. Oh, girl.
I am not beating the allegations with this one. The brown people are not taking your jobs, okay? It's not their fault. They're just cheaper. Aim upwards. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. It's the women, too.
Yeah,
many of the dying industries
of
are
course, the women.
male-dominated, while many of the growing industries are female-dominated. And stigma around these jobs being woman jobs usually stops men from working them. Women are overwhelmingly entering and excelling in college and the workforce, and they're more flexible about job position and pay, while young men usually hold out for higher-paying, higher-position jobs that will make them the breadwinner. Because you see, despite the world progressing and the role of women changing, the role of men has not changed. Every woman is a feminist until the dinner bill comes. But what's crazy is, women might be the ones paying that dinner bill soon. A study from the UK found women aged 22 to 29 earned about 1,000 more annually than men, completely reversing the traditional gender pay gap for this age group. In the US, a 2022 Pew Research Center analysis showed that women under 30 out-earned men in many metropolitan areas, with median earnings at or above 100% of men's, in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. That may not sound like a lot of money now, but it's a growing trend that has never been seen before. It's so bad that it's really starting to affect the dating world. American women have never been this resigned to staying single. They are responding to major demographic shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political affiliation, and beliefs about what family should look like. More women than men are attending college, buying houses, and focusing on their friendships and careers over dating and marriage. The challenges of finding a romantic partner have been made more complicated by a growing divide in education and career prospects between men and women. In 2024, 40% of American women ages 25 to 34 had a bachelor's degree, according to Pew, compared to 37% of men. A bachelor's degree increases net lifetime earnings by an estimated $1 million. Women are doing comparatively well when it comes to education in their early years in the labor force, and men are doing comparatively badly. Men's economic struggles seem to be having the biggest effect on women without a college degree, whose marriage rates by 45 have plummeted to 52% for those born between 1930 and 1980, according to research by Cornell University. Young men without a degree are struggling so much as a group that there simply aren't enough with steady jobs and earnings for non-college women to date. Men are poor, women most affected. Modern
Okay, interesting. I mean, it's good that, like, as an individual, like, you do your things, you get your education, and then you also earn the wage you deserve, basically, right? Like, as an individual, I don't even gender here. But using that data and just that desire to have a free life, basically, that this gets bashed or used as a weapon to make another group, or let's say half of the population on Earth, right? Another small group, you know? Sarcasm. I'm sorry, my autism is not carrying that well. Bashing this whole half population again. I don't understand. I just don't understand why as you can see, I have a huge struggle understanding this type of thing.
women are no longer tied to their gender role. Birth control has freed them from the prison that is their biology, and they are making their own money, sometimes more than men. They can have it all. They can do anything. They can be anything. While at the same time, men are still expected to be the provider. And more importantly, many men still want to be the provider, but they can't. And women, though strong and independent, still want men to be the provider.
And as a woman, I want a strong man.
Yeah, we have, like, the world is changing a lot. And so if you run away from the change and not adapt to it, like, change is not always bad. I know it's uncomfortable, right? I know it's very uncomfortable sometimes if you change something or something is changing and you have to adapt to it. But holding on to beliefs or thinking patterns that go way back into the medieval ages sometimes, even, like, sometimes I watch videos, I'm like, which generation are you belonging to? 1500? Because this is what they thought about that time period. So just never stand still in your life is the thing I would like to suggest to everybody. And never victimize yourself. More like, okay, this person is doing so well. What can I learn from them? Can I like, do something on my end to have some similar success, stuff like that. Just use others people's success as inspiration instead of pitying yourself. Maybe that is also a way to embrace change, right? Kinda. Please don't hate me.
And who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect.
Okay, so if we just stop going, like, having war on Earth, it's not needed anymore. I know it's out of mind to think like that. I know, right? But I wish that the world just stops being at war.
my family.
So you don't need
money.
an already.
Basically, men are like, we're worried we're not making enough money. And women are like, we're worried men are not making enough money. Hello class, I am Miss On Head. I am substituting for your teacher today. She was arrested for molesting a 12-year-old boy. So today we are learning about the graph. This is the growth in productivity versus hourly compensation graph. And you can
yeah, I saw. Oh, I wanted to watch a video about that. There's like a very, very, really nice, well-made essay, documentary type of video. Very, very high production, which is showing on point about this graph. Look at this graph.
trace almost everything bad happening in society back to this graph. As you can see, productivity increased while compensation barely grew over the same time period. Notice they tracked very closely up until around 1972. Now, what happened around 1972, class? Well, the top marginal tax rate was reduced from 70% in 1964 to 50% by 1981. The federal minimum wage began to stagnate, income going to the 1%, rose from 9% in the 60s to 16% in 2023. CEOs also went from making 20 times more than the average worker to making 350 times more than the average worker.
It is insane.
Anything else? Anything else
really have
happened
to watch
around
that.
1972? Yes, Jimmy, that is correct. Women joined the workforce around this time, but we don't have to get into that today.
It's all the woman's fault, of course. I'm joking, okay? I'm joking. Please. I'm not very good at making jokes. You have to say thank you to my autism brain. So that's why I'm always saying if I make a joke so nobody's offended. Hopefully.
The fact is, hard work no longer guarantees success, and the will to work is tied to the fruits of your labor. And young men are fed up today because 90% of that fruit is rotten. Now, is there some truth to modern young people being lazy? Sure, I guess. Every generation had lazy people.
Yeah.
And we do basically live in late-stage mouse utopia, after all. Young people today are
What does
faced
that
with
mean?
two options. Revolution or escapism. And a lot of them are choosing escapism.
Yeah.
Many have basically given up, but it's not like they didn't try. They tried and they found out the juice just isn't worth the squeeze, whether it's college, dating, or the job market. And in a way, many young men are kind of choosing revolution. The never before seen large shift rightward in young men is a small revolution.
Oh, what's the matter with young male voters? If Kamala loses the election to Donald, this affected young men will inevitably shoulder much of the blame for a simple reason that the children are our future and nothing is scared and angry dudes.
In a way, they're saying, this isn't working for me, this sucks, I hate this, I want something different. This is also manifesting on the Democrat side in general. The young men that are still voting left are voting further left. You saw this recently in New York City, where Zoran Mamdani, a self-proclaimed Democratic socialist, won the Democratic primary. Young men are tired of the establishment, left and right. They're tired of the system and they want to burn it down and start again. They want something that works for them because this
It's not
is not working for them.
If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with 4-year college degrees and like initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism?
Fox News should hire that guy. There is an entire generation of fighting-aged men who are enraged and feel like they have nothing to live for. You should probably start caring. When they saw this era,
Like, it is a lot of, like, what I noticed with all the comments and what we talked about on stream and also in the comment section of previous videos, like, people, and I'm not even, like I said, I'm not targeting a specific group, like male or people, like everyone, a human, okay? A human wants purpose. And if you are in a world where you can't find a job because you either don't have the qualification or, you know, you will get exploited because that is also not fair. So I understand that people don't want to work on those type of jobs, but other people will do. So you kind of, it is very, very difficult. But like that person earlier said, you wake up and like basically nobody wants you. You, in terms of relationship and job, like you don't know what to do with your time. You kind of escape. And the only social environment you have is your family. Of course, you're standing inside of your family to have somewhat social interactions, because a human is still a social animal. I know you don't want to hear it, but you're a freaking animal in biological terms, okay? Not in terms of like societal meanings. So it is totally normal to seek connection and like a community. And if you can't get a job, which is usually creating a community, if you can't find a partner of whatever reasons, you're like having no job, and maybe also not going to college or school anymore is making you giving you a difficult time to keep up with friends or finding new friends. This is not helping with the overall issue. And of course, I fully understand if your decision is then, I would like to stay at my parents' place because first, I can't afford anything if I don't find a job, right? And if I move out, I don't have many friends. I don't have my parents anymore, like closer, right? I understand that people just would like to spend the time more with their family, at least, and having some kind of social community around them than having nothing. Like, why are you taking that away too? You make them even more depressed if you push them out into a world where they're so unwanted in that kind of way for whatever reason. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not targeting only men in this case. I'm also targeting women. I'm including everybody. Like, why would you push out an individual who's clearly struggling to sustain themselves and having an environment to have like not depression maybe, right? Why you push that out of a space? For personally, if you would ask me what I would do, like maybe offer more programs to enhance community. I don't know how, but try to fix the work market a little bit. Well, like political people have the power and are voted to have this power. So as an individual, you have to vote for whatever is right to you, right? And then the political people are in the charge of doing what they promised. I know the reality. Don't even try to say, hey, Lina, but it's always different. I know. But like, yeah, and if you are not happy with anything of that, I don't know, also go into politics, maybe. Like try to, like I said in the beginning, try to break the cycle. Do whatever you can to make it better. You do not have to change the world, but if you affect one person positively, it will affect another person positively, and then two people positively, and then maybe a little group. And this is the power that you have if you choose it. And you do not have to be a superhero. You don't have to earn a lot of money. Sometimes it's just encouraging someone who you believe into, and maybe that is already something you can give, and it doesn't cost anything. But for someone else, it means the world sometimes, right? So, saying that just makes me cry. I just want to support people and motivate them to support each other, to support their family, their friends, whatever, to just create a spiral of positive encouragement and to have this type of effect. This is, and then it makes me cry. Let's just finish the video and then I can cry a little bit and can keep on working. So sorry.
On Fox News, they saw an angry woman nagging in their faces about how everything wrong in the world is their fault. An all too familiar thing they have been hearing for far too long. But unfortunately for Democrats, nobody under the age of 60 watches Fox News, so this is not really going to have an effect on young men whatsoever.
Hopefully.
So keep that $20 million. you might still need it. Unless we get dragged into another war in the Middle East. If we do get dragged into another war in the Middle East, young men might come running back to the Democratic Party. Maybe not. Maybe not
I
even
don't
a
know.
George Bush 2 electric boogaloo will have men coming back to the Democratic Party. Hopefully we don't find out. And as I'm editing this right now, a lot of young people, even the podcast bros, seem pretty upset about the Epstein thing, but we know Democrats won't take advantage of the situation in order to protect the Clintons, so maybe not even this will save them, but
Is that a clip?
we'll see, I guess. Hold on one second.
Oh no. Oh. We can go back to normal.
That's better.
Okay, we can okay, I want to go back to normal. I feel a bit insecure. We can go back to normal. Okay, I feel so much better. I feel so much better. Good.
So that was that video. What do you think of the male loser epidemic?
It's stupid.
Do you agree with Tommy Lauren? Is it all men's fault?
No.
Leave your comments below. I read them all. I am probably reading them right now as you type them. Wait, don't write that. No.
She's in our walls. No, she's in our walls. Run. I mean, I like the video. It made me realize again that some things are just utterly wrong. I don't have a solution for it. That's okay. And that is also okay if you don't have the solution for it. But trying our best with whatever resources we have, like I said, even if it's just like being nice to someone, encourage someone, showing like, hey, what you do is great, you should keep going, I believe in you, saying something like that. It doesn't cost money. Maybe we should do that a little bit more. That's the bare minimum. What are you thinking about that as a bare minimum?
Oh, you can't say that. No, it doesn't matter if it's with an A. If you like this video, please subscribe. And if you can, donate to me on Patreon or leave a little tip with a little tip jar down below. Or give it a little heart. It helps the channel and I appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys again soon with a new video. A new slop video.
Slop video.
Love that shit.
Oh, new slop coming up. But yeah, support you. Maybe consider supporting me, even though I'm very grateful that you already watched the video with me together. And as I said, maybe we should just start to break cycles by being a bit more empathetic. No, is it the right word? No, empathetic. Is that the right word? I want to say be nice to each other. See you tomorrow. Bye.